Hi friends! I wanted to get on here and talk to you about Connor's doctor appointment today. Okay, so Connor has been cruddy. I thought he was crying. He's just talking. Connor has been cruddy for a couple days, like a cold. To do a little background with him. I cannot talk. To give you a little background, any cold Connor has had has turned into pneumonia and has resulted in a hospital stay. And so I'm super freaked out about a snotty nose, a cough, runny eyes, because they all lead down a road to bad, bad, bad. So I'm a little paranoid. I'm a little over top. I know that. I get that. So I let him go a couple days. I was obviously giving him his albuterol breathing treatments every 4 to 6 hours like I'm supposed to, along with children's Mucinex. He had a prescription for that too. Anyway, so I woke up this morning and I was getting ready for work and I just had this feeling of dread. I've been really nervous. I've been really scared. And so I decided we're going to stay home today. It was rainy. It was cold. And we're going to try to get into the pulmonologist, which is his lung doctor. And so I got a sub and everything for work, and I called the lung doctor. I had to leave a message for the nurse. She called me right back, and she's like, do you want him? I told her his symptoms, what was going on. She asked me for how long, and I feel like when you tell them it's only been like 2 days, they're like, this chick's crazy. But anyway, I know they understand. And she's like, do you want him to be seen? And I'm like, yes. And I even told her on the phone, I'm always upfront and honest, because they're people too, you know. I told her on the phone, I said, you know, anytime this has happened before, it has turned into pneumonia, and I'm super nervous. I know his breathing's okay right now, but I really want him to be looked at. I'm really nervous. And she was like, okay, well, and she gave me an appointment. So Connor was still sleeping at the time because I was literally sitting there with the phone waiting on the doctor's office to open this morning because I really wanted to get in today, and I knew the later I waited in the day, the chances of us getting in were not good, which would result to probably getting in tomorrow, which would mean I'd have to call in to work again. I was trying not to do that if I didn't have to do that. So when I got Connor up, you know, I changed him and fed him breakfast and all that. He went and got his coat, his toboggan, and his where you listen to their heart. It's right here. I can't say it. I know what it is called, but I cannot bring it out of my mouth. So yeah, he went and got that, and we actually got this on his last hospital stay. They have ones that just stay in the room, and it's the one for the room, and I guess they get a new one every time. I don't really know. I guess for sanitary purposes, I don't really know. And so the nurse said, hey, when we were leaving, getting discharged, hey, you can have this if you want it. And so Connor listens to our hearts all the time. He's been listening to me and himself all day. Anyway, he brought me that this morning, which I took as I feel cruddy. I need to see the doctor. And so I was like, oh, baby boy, I already have you an appointment. You are going to see the doctor. And anyway, so we went and saw the doctor. It's always a long wait at the lung doctor, but we knew it would be a long wait today because we were getting worked in, and so we totally understood. I wish I could say I'm always understanding, but I was more understanding today, and so I'm trying to remind myself that when I do have an appointment and have to wait a long time, maybe it's because somebody's kid's sick and their kid's getting worked in, and I should be more patient. But anyway, I'm going to try to remind myself of that because that was us today. We were getting worked in. Anyway. So we went to the lung doctor, and she listened to him. She said I was doing everything correct. I had already started the breathing treatments over 4 to 6 hours, and that is like the most crucial part. So I was doing everything correct, and so that made me feel good. That's kind of what I wanted to hear, to make sure I'm doing what I need to be doing. There doesn't need to be any other meds in there, and there didn't. I was doing fine. And she said then she said this, and it really made me happy and made me sad. She said his lungs are clear right now. And when she added in that right now, it just reminded me that this could go south very quickly. It always has in the past. And so anyway, I am just clinging to the hope that everything's going to be fine. We're doing everything we can, and we're praying and we're hopeful. And so the rest is just a waiting game, but we hope that it won't turn into anything, and that he can kick it and everything will be great. So yeah, so then she said they're going to come in here and give you discharge papers. I don't really understand getting discharge papers because, you know, I'm not in the hospital. But anyway, we had to wait on discharge papers. That's fine. It's all good. So we waited and we waited and we waited. I would say we waited close to 30 to 45 minutes. This is after seeing the doctor. And finally, I opened our door because this is going to make me sound absolutely horrible, but I'm being honest here. I opened our door and I'm like, maybe the more annoying we are, you know, someone would come and let us go. And no one came and no one came and no one came. My mom was with us today. And finally, my mom was getting really mad. I was like, just be calm, just be calm. And finally, she stopped a nurse and asked her, you know, what are we waiting on? And she was like, I don't know, let me go check. Anyway, a nurse finally came in and somehow our light had got turned green, which means we had already left. And it means someone had checked off that they gave us our paperwork to leave or discharge, whatever they call it. And they had not. So anyway, we were basically, they didn't really know we were in there still. And they were all going to lunch. So anyway, that was a crazy, crazy part of the day, and we were pretty aggravated, but we were also hangry because we hadn't ate. But anyway, never go to the doctor hangry because you're going to get mad. Anyway, so that's what happened today. We are super hopeful that we caught it quick and that it's all good and it's going to be great. And so that's really the only update I have for you today. I just wanted to get on here and say that and clarify that. And tell you that, and if you don't know, maybe I haven't really told, Connor has scarring in his right lung. And that could have been from aspirating on food at some point, or that could have been from one of his bouts of pneumonia, and the mucus was in there so long that it actually scarred his lung. And so that is part of the reason that he gets pneumonia so easily. And that is something we have to watch super close. It's not a big concern right now. Until he gets a cold, then it's a concern. So we have to stay on high alert when he gets a cold. And that's why you'll see me freaking out over a sniffle or a cough or anything. It really scares us, and that is why. A lot of times children with Down syndrome outgrow their respiratory issues. A lot of them have respiratory issues when they're younger. Normally they do outgrow it, but because of his scarring, we do not know if he will outgrow this. As he grows, it could be not as bad. It just depends on this. It's really weird because the way she explained it to me, it was almost like as he grows, it depends on how the scarring grows, but the scarring isn't going to get bigger, unless he had mucus staying there forever, but as much as I'm on top of pneumonia, he probably wouldn't, but it just depends, honestly, and so it could be an issue as he gets older like it is now, or it could be no big deal, but it definitely shouldn't worsen. They don't expect it to worsen, so, yeah, so that's where we're at. Everything else looks good. It's just a cold, basically, and I'm doing everything the way I'm supposed to be doing. But I know I had updated y'all a while back, and I had told y'all that his steroid for his lungs, he's on a steroid all the time, every day for his lungs. We were doing it twice a day, morning and night, and it's through his inhaler. And now, you like my little hand motions? His inhaler. Anyway, now we had backed that up, and this summer we started doing it once a day instead of twice a day. And so she decided that this winter we would try keeping it once a day, and if all went well this winter with no sickness, no problems, then this summer we would stop it, and we would just start it back in like the fall to, you know, one time a day. But because of this and this setback, we are bumping back up to twice a day, which means we will not be stopping it this summer. We were super hopeful. I feel like anytime your child is on a daily med, anytime you hear that there's a chance you could stop it, you want that. That is your end goal. I'm not one of them people that doesn't want him on meds. If meds can help him, come on. God gives the doctors the knowledge. Can I get an amen? That's how I believe, and if you don't believe that way, I totally respect you. I really do. But that's just how I believe, and I'm very thankful for doctors and for medicines and all the knowledge that we have now. And but anytime your child can be go off of a med or be med free, absolutely, you want it. 100% I do. I want that for him. But I also want him to be healthy. I want him to be happy. I want him to be well. And these steroids for his lung help keep him well. They have kept him out of a lot of harm's way, and they have done so much good for him. So we are saddened that we are bumping back up. We were hopeful that we wouldn't have to do them this summer, that this tapering back on them would work. But we knew in the back of our minds that there was a great probability that it would not work. And so I wasn't really surprised, to be honest. Actually, even before we went to the doctor today, I had already decided I'm bumping him back up to twice a day. But I wanted the confirmation that that's what I should do from the doctor, because I don't want to do anything wrong. I'm still learning. I'm still growing, and I am no medical professional. So, anyway, I would never want to do anything to harm my child or do anything wrong or anything I shouldn't. So that's where I'm at. Connor, come here and talk to him. You want to talk to him? He said no. Oh, man. Anyway, he is super happy. He is eating good. He is drinking good. And so his breathing's okay. And that's why I knew it wasn't, I knew it was not pneumonia. I don't want anyone to think I ran into the doctor today because I thought it was pneumonia. I knew it wasn't pneumonia, but I thought it could have been starting to develop, or maybe they would have saw something ahead of time. And basically what I was told was his lungs are clear right now, which means I'm still watching him like a hawk, and I'm still worrying myself to death. So that's just what it is. And that's just a quick little update for y'all, because I know I tried to type it out earlier, and I know a lot of times I get misunderstood, and it's probably my own fault. It's probably the way I say things or go about things. And so anyway, that's what's going on. And we're all good. We're hanging in there. But we are watchful, and we are waiting, and we're hoping, and we're praying that we kick this with no further complications. So, thank you guys for being concerned about him. Thank you for praying for him. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And he is cleared to go back to school tomorrow. So, unless something else happens, I am going to work tomorrow. He is going to school tomorrow, and then tomorrow's Friday. So, woo! We're ready for our weekend after that. And so, I just appreciate you guys and how much you care for him. I really do. It's really overwhelming to see how much your child is loved by others. And it's just a humbling experience to know that so many are praying for him and so many genuinely care about him and his well-being. And so thank you for that.